Well, we're going to do a song right now that is probably our most requested song, and if we didn't do it, I think we wouldn't be asked back to a lot of places. It's one we don't have to practice. It's one that we came upon by accident years ago when the church, right after we started playing, had asked us to come play. And the week of the service, they called and said, "Oh, by the way, we've got a bunch of kids. Can you do a bluegrass gospel children's song?" And we said yes without Googling it. They ain't done it. They ain't done it. So what we did is we improvised, and I won't say it was a divine inspiration, but it was definitely a lifeboat to get us out of a promise that we had made without looking. That was our fault. How many of y'all have heard Old MacDonald Had a Farm? It's not a gospel song, but we changed the words to it to make it a gospel song and sang it about old man Noah and his boat, because the song already has animals in it. So it worked out real well, and it turns out the folks really like it. And the kids like it, and I think the young at heart like it more than the kids. So we're going to do it for you right now. We'll get Stephen to do the animal sounds. We never know what we're going to throw at him. He never knows what we're going to throw.
Yeah, that's true.
Sometimes I'll give an eyeball over to Dennis like a third base coach, and he'll give me a signal, and I'll throw a weird animal in there. So I've already been looking at it, getting the signals. Strum me the G chord there, Joseph. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O, and on this ark he had a cow, E-I-E-I-O, with a here and a there and a here and there. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O, and on this ark he had a wild turkey, E-I-E-I-O, with here and there and here and there. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O, and on this ark he had a bear, E-I-E-I-O, with here and there and a here and there.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O, and on this ark he had a laughing hyena, E-I-E-I-O, with here and there and here and there. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O. You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, just want to make sure. Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O, and on this ark he had a chimpanzee, E-I-E-I-O, with a here and a there and a here and there. E-I-E-I-O.
Poor Chops loves that one. I don't know why.
Now I'm going to explain this next one. This is Dennis's favorite, by the way. There is a real animal I'm getting ready to tell you about, but Dennis wants the animated version of it. How many of y'all remember them Bugs Bunny cartoons growing up? There was a certain little brown critter that went into a tornado whirl and was always chasing after Bugs Bunny. And so in our minds, that's the sound that animal makes. We didn't have National Geographic back then, just Warner Brothers. But this is Dennis's favorite. So you ready?
Sure.
Old man Noah had an ark, E-I-E-I-O, and on this ark he had a Tasmanian devil, E-I-E-I-O, with here and there, E-I-E-I-O.
And Noah's Ark was full.